So I want to introduce our first speaker. She's also the co-MC with me. This is Sochitl Johnson. She's one of the organizers from Refuse Fascism, and she's going to read the call to action from Refuse Fascism. So give it up for Sochitl.
What's up, my people? I want to say first that it's an honor to read the statement from Refuse Fascism. When Trump got elected, like everybody here, I spent a lot of days dark and feeling hopeless. And then I saw people who wanted to organize, not just to wait for another election, not to wait for some leader to come down and save us, but to organize the people ourselves. And I've been down with them since we started, and I'm really glad to see all of you here. I want to start by saying that I want to dedicate my participation today to all the black mothers who have lost their sons to police murder. That black people in this country for a long time has seen what fascism can look like. We've seen what it looks like when they round up an entire generation of people. We've seen what it looks like when they criminalize us for our social organizations, for just being, for living, for existing. We've seen what it looks like when they destroy our political groups, when they attack us and arrest us and round us up. We've seen what it looks like when they demonize us in the media and the press. Today, I want to dedicate myself to the struggle to liberate and stop the murder of black lives in this country. And I want to extend that, and I want to dedicate myself to stopping the attacks and roundups and murder of immigrant lives in this country. And I want to extend that and say that as a black person, I have everything to do with the attacks and murder, and I stand against the attacks of trans lives in this country. And that I am a person, I am a human being, and that means that I stand with the people of the world. That my children are Iraqi children, my children are Afghani children, my children are Muslim children, my children are Latino children and Asian children. My children are all the people in this world who live on this planet, who breathe this air, who want a different kind of world. And that's why I'm out here to say, fuck Trump, fuck their brutal fascist regime. The Trump-Pence regime must go. And that today I rededicate myself. Like all of us here, put your fist in the air and rededicate yourself. That today we are organizers. Say it with me, today. I dedicate myself to driving out the Trump-Pence regime. Today, tomorrow, until those running dogs are running out of the White House and into the streets and into the prisons where they belong. The Trump-Pence regime must go. In the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. Immigrants are full human beings, not illegals, not criminals to be demonized and terrorized, hunted down, locked and thrown out. No, we will not accept the cruel and brutal future of the Trump-Pence regime. And say it with me at the end of each statement. They must go. Let me hear it now. They must go. Muslims and refugees are full human beings, not people to be shunned, banned and cast out, to be swallowed up by oceans and wars. No. We will not accept the cruel and brutal future of the Trump-Pence regime. Say it with me together. They must go. Women and LGBTQ people, represent with your rainbow people, are full human beings, not objects to be grabbed, banned, demeaned, victimized, denied our fundamental right to control our reproduction and how we choose to live. No, we will not accept their cruel and brutal future of the Trump-Pence regime. Say it with me. They must go. Black and Latino people are full human beings, not people to be denied the basic right to live, gunned down by the police with impunity, incarcerated in genocidal numbers, and denied our basic rights. No, we will not accept the cruel and brutal future of the Trump-Pence regime. Say it with me. They must go. The people of every country are full human beings, not collateral damage, to be subjected to massive bombings, invasions, occupations, the danger of nuclear war. I want to say for a minute that I have a 10-year-old son, and he asked me 2 days ago, was a nuclear war going to kill all of us? And I didn't know what to tell him, because in my heart I thought yes, but I don't want to throw his hope away just yet. But I live, and all of us live, with that fear, and the fear for our children. A program of America First that would bludgeon them into submission? No. We will not accept the cruel and brutal future of the Trump-Pence regime. Say it with me, they must go. The children, elderly, and poor of this country living in the streets in one of the richest cities of this country. And every rich city in this country lining with tents, sleeping on the ground. How sick is that? Are not, as in every country, they should have food for sustenance, health care to live, homes to live in, and not be denied with cruel calculation for the benefit of the few. No, we will not accept the cruel and brutal future of the Trump-Pence regime. They must go. The earth and the species who inhabit it, including humanity, should sustain life and not be despoiled by ignorance, greed, and the disregard of science. No, we will not accept the cruel and brutal future of the Trump-Pence regime. They must go. Only the people, say it with me, only the people, together in the streets, and the public square, can force this demand before the world. Should we fail to do so, the future and values we aspire to could be brutally cut short by the actions of the Trump-Pence regime. Right on. Right on. The Trump-Pence government has been step by step criminalizing dissent and bludgeoning the truth with worse to come. Stripping away basic rights and the rule of law is at the core of fascism. Group after group is demonized and targeted along a trajectory leading to real horrors. We must not let this be normalized. History has shown that fascism must be stopped before it becomes too late. The demand the Trump-Pence regime must go can unify people in our resistance. There are different programs of struggle against the multiple attacks of the Trump-Pence regime when we see them out here today. People have diverse views of how to achieve a better future, and all of this should be aired and shared and debated. But if we don't stop the consolidation of fascism by organizing together to demand the Trump-Pence regime must go, people's lives here and around the world and the earth itself will face greater catastrophe. Now is the time to act. The scandal and turmoil the regime faces is an opening through which the mass action of the people could burst through and make our demand resound throughout the country, in the halls of power and around the world. Today, July 15th, the Trump-Pence regime must go. Must be spoken, shouted, and acted on with fiercely creative determination. We have righteously marched for women, for science, for climate, for immigrants, for Black lives, for LGBTQ pride. And now the resistance must pull together to drive this regime from power. Today, July 15th, must be a day when every person, every group, religious, community, service, political organization, all who feel the tremendous threat to humanity posed by the Trump-Pence regime stand together, showing the world that people here are determined that this regime must go. Not in 2 years, not in 4 years, but now. Today must mark a leap to more sustained struggle, inspiring people to see the possibility of ousting this regime through unleashing tremendous power of the people. That's right, the power of the people. Aiming for a time when millions can be moved to fill the streets of cities, of towns, day after day, night after night, declaring this whole regime is illegitimate, demanding and not stopping. Demanding and not stopping. Demanding and not stopping. Demanding and not stopping until the Trump-Pence regime is driven from power. Today, with conviction and courage, overcoming fear and uncertainty, we will act together to resist and say no, not for ourselves alone, but in the name of humanity. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Let's get this started.